Francis Ngannou is a bad guy. He's not a good guy. He plays the whole, duh, 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 I don't understand the language, and he tries to come off like he's a fucking nice guy, you know what I mean? He's a bad guy. We're walking down this hallway, and he comes over to me, and he grabs me. When this fight's over, you're gonna book me a private plane to Paris. I'm not joking. You're gonna book me a private plane. So, okay.
Dana White has just dropped a bombshell revelation about Francis Ngannou that nobody saw coming. In a shocking live podcast appearance, the UFC president detailed physical confrontations, alleged bullying, and a side of the predator that fans have never witnessed. This isn't about contracts or money disputes anymore. This is about what really happened behind closed doors at the UFC headquarters.
We offered Francis a deal that would have made him the highest paid heavyweight in the history of the company. More than Lesnar, more than anybody. And he turned the deal down. I think Francis is in a place right now where he doesn't want to take a lot of risk. Feels like he's in a good position where he could fight lesser opponents and make more money. So we're gonna let him do that. We're gonna release him from his contract. We're gonna give up our right to match, and he can go wherever he wants and do whatever he wants.
Dana White appeared on Andrew Schulz's Flagrant podcast and made serious allegations about former UFC heavyweight champion Francis Ngannou, describing two physical confrontations that allegedly occurred between them. According to White, the first incident happened after Ngannou fought but did not receive a $50,000 performance of the night bonus. Here's what White claims went down. He was pissed off that he didn't get $50,000 in his last fight, that he didn't get the bonus of the night, White explained. The conversation's over, and I'm starting to leave, and he grabs me by my shirt and pushes me back in my office, and I said, dude, get your effing hands off me.
So he's going in to fight Stipe Miocic in Boston, and he knows he's going to fucking kill Stipe, right? So after the press conference, we're walking down this hallway, and he comes over to me, and he grabs me, and he says, let me tell you what's going to happen. His English is fucking great, okay? No language barrier whatsoever. When this fight's over, you're going to book me a private plane to Paris. And I said, I laughed and said, oh yeah, he goes, I'm not joking. You're going to book me a private plane to Paris. So, okay. So we go our own ways. Stipe Miocic beats the fucking shit out of him. Beats the shit out of him. And he had just fought, and he comes up to my office, and he was pissed off that he didn't get a $50,000 bonus in his last fight, that he didn't get the bonus of the night. And I said, well, Francis, you didn't get it because this, that. And he's in my office, and he's arguing with me. And I'm like, yeah, this guy got this guy got that, and this.
But wait, it gets worse. White also described a second alleged incident involving Hunter Campbell, now the UFC's chief business officer. He claims that during a conversation, Ngannou grabbed Campbell by the back of his collar when Campbell tried to walk away, telling him, "We're not done talking yet." The UFC president has called Ngannou a bad guy multiple times, saying the fighter's public persona differs from his private behavior.
I didn't like Francis as a person. Wasn't a guy I wanted to do business with. My boys were telling me he's misunderstood, and I told them, when somebody shows you who they are, believe them. Yeah, it wasn't about him becoming the heavyweight champion of the world. Francis isn't a good guy. He plays the good guy. I don't understand the language, and, so he seems like he's a nice guy. He's not, and he's just not a guy that I wanted to be in business with. Period. End of story. Whether he became the champion or not.
This wasn't just a one-time outburst from Dana White. White also shared a story from before Ngannou's 2018 fight with Stipe Miocic at UFC 220, claiming Ngannou approached him after the press conference and demanded a private jet to Paris.
Stop, load up, and leave these big openings. Oh,
knockdown for Ngannou. Stipe back to his feet, eats another uppercut. Nice counter right from
White claims Ngannou pretends his English is worse than it actually is. According to the UFC boss, during that private jet conversation, Ngannou's English was effing great. Of course, Miocic won that fight by decision, so the private jet demand became a moot point.
And he grabs me by my shirt and pushes me back in my office. And I said, dude, get your fucking hands off me. My guy Hunter, Francis grabbed him by the fucking back of his collar and fucking pulled him back, said, we're not done talking yet. So this guy's not a good fucking guy. He's a bad guy.
But here's where things get even more interesting. Former UFC public relations executive Ant Evans commented on White's allegations, saying he believes White's account and that Ngannou made UFC staff very uncomfortable during office visits. Evans wrote on social media, "Francis was a terror at the UFC office when I worked there. He'd show up over and over, walk around the offices, standing over people's desks and making staff very uncomfortable." Evans added that while some behavior might have stemmed from cultural differences, there's also bullying. He struck me as a bully. Now, before we go any further, we need to address the elephant in the room. Not everyone is buying Dana White's story. The MMA community across Reddit, Twitter, and Instagram has been picking apart White's narrative, questioning both his credibility and the convenient timing of these newly detailed claims. Fans point out that White has a documented history of making accusations against fighters who publicly challenge him or leave the promotion. Randy Couture, Mark Hunt, Frank Shamrock, and Chris Cyborg have all faced similar treatment. The Instagram comments were absolutely brutal. One user commented, "You slapped your wife, bro. Don't get mad when another grown man does it to ya." Another wrote, "I'm calling BS." A third captured the sentiment, "When Dana speaks, don't believe him."
No way. Come on. No way.
Reddit users noted that Francis didn't just leave the UFC, he thrived afterward. He fought top boxing talent like Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua, made substantially more money than he ever would have in the UFC, and maintained his dignity throughout. One Reddit user summed it up, "Dana White is coping big time. Francis must live inside Dana's head, rent-free by how much Dana talks about him." Here's what's really raising eyebrows. The timing of these detailed allegations is suspicious. White has spent years making vague criticisms of Ngannou, but these specific stories about physical confrontation are new, coming years after the alleged incidents. If Ngannou had actually grabbed White by the shirt in his office, why wasn't this reported at the time? Why weren't other UFC officials interviewed about an alleged assault on the UFC president?
8, 9, 10, stop 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Ngannou himself has responded by accusing White of fabricating narratives to regain credibility in a situation where White already lost. From Ngannou's perspective, White can't accept that Francis walked away and succeeded without him. The pattern reveals something deeper about how the MMA community views White at this point. Fans are fatigued by his attacks on fighters who negotiate for themselves or leave the promotion. Let's not forget how we got here. The relationship between White and Ngannou broke down after UFC 270 in January 2022. Ngannou defeated Cyril Gane to unify the heavyweight title, but chose not to re-sign with the promotion because he wanted the ability to take professional boxing matches while competing in MMA, something the UFC would not allow. Ngannou left the promotion without losing his belt, signed with the Professional Fighters League, and pursued boxing opportunities. He fought Tyson Fury in October 2023 and Anthony Joshua in March 2024, earning millions for both bouts.
Oh, he catches him off guard! Francis Ngannou has just scored a knockdown against the heavyweight champ! Anything can happen!
White stated he wanted to cut Ngannou after the first Miocic loss in 2018, saying his matchmakers convinced him to keep the fighter. Ngannou went on to become heavyweight champion in 2021 by knocking out Miocic in their rematch. Ngannou has fought once under the PFL banner, defeating Renan Ferreira by knockout in October 2024. He also serves as chairman for PFL Africa.
Well done, lad. Look at me. That was a heavy knockout. I'll give you that respect. But you will never knock me out.
I'm going to submit you.
Knock me out.
You live pussy. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put my balls in your
you can't knock me out.
Pussy.
You know I don't get knocked out.
You get knocked out.
I finish you.
Even before the fight.
I finish you, little
Get
man.
that fuck your ass from here.
I finish
Get
you.
Paddy the Baddy Pimblett and Sean Strickland have both sent absolutely massive bombshell messages directed at UFC lightweight champion Ilia Topuria. And trust me, you're not going to want to miss what they said. From callouts to contract challenges and even some harsh truths about fighter pay. This story has it all. Let's get into it.
That's the fight that I want. With Charles, I had a little bit difficult situation because I really like the guy. But with Paddy, I'm really gonna enjoy kicking his ass.
Paddy the Baddy Pimblett. Now, if you've been following this feud, you know these two have been going back and forth since 2022. But Paddy just took things to a whole new level. In a recent statement, Pimblett absolutely let loose on the lightweight champion, saying, and I quote, "I'll smash Ilia Topuria's face in." But he didn't stop there. The Baddy doubled down with the legendary Mike Tyson reference, "Sign the contract, big boy."
Absolutely smash his face in for him. I can see me beating him anywhere the fight goes, to be honest. People have put him on a pedestal now. They think he's this big, amazing thing when I'll bring him crashing back down to earth in a big way.
Now, according to Paddy's own words, he's been waiting for this fight for years. He says Topuria has done nothing but talk trash about him, claiming he's not good enough, claiming he doesn't deserve a title shot. But here's where it gets interesting. After Topuria's last fight against Charles Oliveira, Paddy got in the cage and Ilia pushed him. Everyone thought the fight was happening. The rivalry was about to be settled. And you know what? He's got a point. If Topuria really believes Pimblett isn't on his level, why not take the fight and prove it? This is where the mind games start getting really interesting.
Something happened with you and Paddy, or
yeah,
something happened with you guys, right?
Yeah.
What was that all about? I saw the video.
He said some stupid shit about Georgia, about my country. He said something like, "Now I understand why Russia is throwing bombs to Georgia." And like, bro, you never live in a situation where your country had a war. I lived there in 2008. Don't joke with that. He said that on Twitter.
And then you went and you guys were at the same event and you ran into each other?
I saw him and I went after him like, boom.
And it wasn't promotional.
According to reports, Pimblett's team has confirmed they've been given a possible date for his return, and they're working on a game plan specifically for Ilia Topuria. His coaches Ellis Hampson and Paul Rimmer both stated that Paddy is in peak condition, training hard, and just waiting for that confirmation.
I've said this before in several interviews. People just think he'd steamroll me, you know what I mean? But it's different when there's that much size difference. Laddie, he's a midget. So I said to them, "I will finish you, little boy." He's like that much shorter than me. I'm so much wider than him.
Yeah.
Like, and that plays a part. That's why people cut weights. That's why you get to a certain weight division.
Yeah.
That 10, 15 pounds makes a big difference. And as I said, I'd just kick up Topuria around the cage. I can't wait to shock a lot of people.
Now, for those who might not know the full backstory here, let me catch you up real quick because this rivalry runs deep. This whole thing started back in 2022 when Topuria confronted Pimblett in a London hotel. The confrontation happened after Ilia accused Paddy of posting anti-Georgian tweets. From that moment on, these two have been at each other's throats.
Take that shirt.
Well, I'm scared of you.
Fuck you, bitch. Fuck you, bitch.
What, lad? I'm still here. You fucking little maggot.
Meanwhile, Meanwhile, Pimblett has been building his own resume. He's unbeaten in the UFC, and his last performance was absolutely dominant. A third-round TKO over former three-time Bellator champion Michael Chandler. That's not a small name. That's not a gimme fight. Paddy proved he belongs in these conversations. But wait, it gets even more interesting because former UFC middleweight champion Sean Strickland decided to throw his 2 cents into the mix, and what he said might be even more controversial than Paddy's call-out.
It's so good to be back in the show. Feel like the UFC will finish to be back in the number one ring. Just
Strickland came out and made a statement about fighter pay in the UFC, specifically calling out the massive discrepancy between top earners and lower-tier fighters. According to Sean, let me just say, the UFC has the most discrepancy. When you're talking about top earning to lower earning, I think the UFC probably has the most. Now, why is Strickland bringing this up in relation to the Topuria Pimblett situation? Well, it ties into the bigger picture of how fights get made, who gets paid what, and why certain matchups happen while others don't. Strickland is known for speaking his mind, sometimes controversially, but he's touching on something that a lot of fighters have been vocal about. The gap between what champions and main event fighters make versus what prelim fighters and undercard athletes earn is absolutely massive in the UFC. And when you have a potential mega fight like Topuria versus Pimblett on the table, a fight with real bad blood, real history, and massive fan interest from the UK and beyond, you have to wonder if negotiations are getting held up over money or if there are other factors at play.
English, yeah?
Hey.
Speak English.
You want to talk to me like the man-to-man? You said something about me. I went to your country. I slapped your face. I get at the wasting win. I walk like a king in your street.
Are you talking English?
What you did?
Is that English?
Man? Yeah, of course I do.
Speak English for the people.
Shut up.
Not German or Spanish like you're from.
I'm talking in English and fuck you in English. Y que te follen en español.
So what has Ilia Topuria said about all this? Well, according to reports, Topuria sent a message on Twitter, though the full details of his response are still emerging. What we do know is that Topuria has several potential options for his first lightweight title defense. There's obviously Paddy Pimblett, who's been calling for this fight the loudest. But there's also Justin Gaethje, a former interim champion at 155 pounds, who's been mentioned as a potential opponent. Then you have the situation with Islam Makhachev, who just won at UFC 322. There's been talk about a potential super fight between the two champions, which could completely change the landscape. So where do we go from here? Well, according to Pimblett's team, they're waiting for confirmation on a date. They've been told there's a possible date in the works, potentially for early 2026. Paddy is keeping his weight down, working on strength and conditioning, and specifically preparing for Ilia Topuria. From a stylistic perspective, this fight is absolutely fascinating. Topuria is a knockout artist with absolutely devastating power. His last 3 wins have all been knockouts: Volkanovski, Holloway, and Oliveira. That's a murderer's row of opponents, but Pimblett has a fantastic jiu-jitsu game. He's tough, he's durable, and he's been in there with top competition. In his own words about how he'd beat Topuria, "I can see me beating him anywhere the fight goes, to be honest. People have put him on a pedestal now. They think he's this big, amazing thing. I'll bring him crashing back down to earth in a big way." Those are fighting words, and the MMA community is absolutely dying to see if Paddy can back them up. So there you have it, fight fans. Paddy Pimblett sent a massive message to Ilia Topuria. "I'll smash your face in. Sign the contract, big boy." Sean Strickland weighing in on the UFC's fighter pay discrepancy and a whole lot of uncertainty about what happens next in the lightweight division. Will we finally see Pimblett versus Topuria in 2026? Will Ilya move up to face Islam Makhachev? Or will Justin Gaethje get the call? Only time will tell. But one thing's for sure, this drama is far from over. What do you think? Does Paddy have a real shot against Topuria? Or is El Matador going to continue his knockout streak? Drop your predictions in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, smash that like button, subscribe for more UFC news and analysis, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
Gliding and swimming through those shots. Oh my goodness! You know, she's telling us because she needs to be. Oh, another program in the middle again from Shields. This is where we see that the fight, but she's also in there with a singular generational talent in Claressa Shields, who is all over her right now. To look for openings, style a little bit here in round 8. There's a body shot from Shields, and another one. No knockout, but Claressa Shields plays the hits here in Motown.
The Queen of Boxing just dropped a massive bombshell that has the entire MMA world shaking. Claressa Shields, the undisputed boxing champion, has sent a direct message that puts Dakota Ditcheva's PFL throne in serious danger. And Dakota's response? Let's just say she's not backing down. This is about to get explosive. Claressa Shields about her move to MMA, Dakota Ditcheva's brutal response, and what this potential super fight could mean for the PFL. Trust me, this is the fight everyone is talking about right now. Let's dive in.
When you're back over here,
Claressa Shields just sent shockwaves through the MMA community with her latest statement. And when I say bombshell, I mean bombshell. Listen to what she said. I've done everything in boxing. I just really wanted to see what could I do in my career that can make me be more of the greatest of all time. Like, how can you solidify it? And I've done everything in boxing. So for me, I was like, you know what? What about MMA?
I've done everything in boxing. I just really wanted to see what could I do in my career that can make me be more of the GOAT, more of the greatest of all time. Like, how can you solidify it? And I've done everything in boxing. So for me, I was like, you know what? What about MMA?
Now, for those who don't know, Claressa Shields isn't just any boxer. This woman is the most accomplished female boxer in history. We're talking multiple weight world champion, 2-time Olympic gold medalist, undisputed champion. She's beaten everyone in boxing. Go. She's fought legends like Savannah Marshall and Marcella Corno and absolutely dominated them. She's cleaned out boxing, and now she's looking for new challenges in MMA. And here's the thing, she's not just talking. Claressa has already made her PFL debut and won in dominant fashion. This isn't a publicity stunt. She's serious about conquering MMA just like she conquered boxing. Now, when Claressa made this announcement, all eyes immediately turned to Dakota Ditcheva, the undefeated PFL rising star and the woman everyone believes is the future of the division. And Dakota? She didn't hold back. Here's what she said. Right. So, 2 125ers. I mean, she's doing unbelievable things in boxing, and I would 100% if that came to me. I would definitely take that. I mean, I'm not sure who they're going to put her with. She's had a little bit of MMA experience before as well. So it'll be interesting. I'm excited to see what they do with that super fight.
So 125ers, I mean, she's doing unbelievable things in boxing. And I would 100%, if that come to me, I would definitely take that. I mean, I'm not sure who they're going to put her with. She's had a little bit of MMA experience before as well. So It'll be interesting. I'm excited to see what they do with that super fight.
Now, let me break this down for you because Dakota's response is actually more savage than it sounds. First, she acknowledges Clarissa's boxing credentials, showing respect where respect is due, but then comes the key part. I would 100% take that fight. That's not fear, that's confidence. That's a champion saying, bring it on. And it didn't stop there. Dakota took to Twitter and sent her own message to Clarissa. The tension is building, and fight fans are absolutely eating this up. Okay, so let's talk about what would actually happen if these two stepped into the cage together, because this is one of the most fascinating style matchups we could possibly see. On one side, you have Clarissa Shields with world-class boxing that's sharper and cleaner than almost anyone Dakota has faced, lightning-fast punches with perfect timing, a jab and counter right hand that can shut down anyone's offense. If this fight stays in pure boxing range, Dakota would be in deep trouble. But here's where it gets interesting. Dakota Ditcheva brings a complete MMA striking arsenal, kicks, knees, elbows from every angle. Devastating clinch work that Clarissa isn't used to, defending dangerous knees to the body and elbows to the head. Superior takedown defense and developing grappling skills. An 11-1 Muay Thai background with aggressive forward pressure. And here's the thing that could change everything. Dakota has more weapons. The moment this fight leaves boxing range and enters MMA territory with kicks, knees, clinches, and potential grappling, the entire dynamic shifts in Dakota's favor. Let's be real here. If this fight stays standing in pure boxing range, Clarissa Shields has the advantage. Her boxing is simply on another level.
Yes. Oh!
But, and this is a big but, this is MMA, not boxing. And Dakota has more experience inside the cage, more tools to work with, and the ability to take this fight into territories where Clarissa hasn't fully developed yet. In a full MMA fight, Dakota likely wins by late TKO or dominant decision. Why? Because she has more weapons at her disposal, better understanding of MMA range and distance superior clinch work, the ability to mix in takedowns if needed. Clarissa is dangerous, absolutely, but Dakota is complete as an MMA fighter. But here's what makes this so exciting. Clarissa Shields is a proven champion who has conquered every challenge put in front of her. Can she do it again in MMA? That's what makes this potential super fight so compelling. So there you have it. Fight fans, Clarissa Shields has thrown down the gauntlet by entering the PFL and making it clear she wants to become the greatest of all time in combat sports. Dakota Ditcheva has responded with confidence and is ready to defend her position as the future of the division.
I'm a workhorse. I train very, very hard. And I love people. I love meeting new people no matter where I'm at. If they want a picture, they want an autograph, they want a hug, you know, I'm like, hey, what's up? But people don't really get that interpretation of me from me being a fighter. You know, it's like I'm very, very nice to a fault, though. If you're mean to me, I'll be mean to you.
Whether this fight happens next month or next year, one thing is absolutely certain. The MMA world will be watching. This is the kind of crossover super fight that could break records and create history.
Let's go.
If you enjoyed this breakdown and want more explosive MMA news, fight analysis, and drama, make sure to smash that like button. It genuinely helps the channel grow. Subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an upload. We're bringing you the most exciting stories and matchups from the world of combat sports every single day. The fight game is heating up, and you'll want to be here for what's coming next. Thanks for watching, fight fans. I'll see you in the next one. Stay tuned, because the next bombshell might be even bigger than this one.
Here we go! Oh, punch to the back of the head. That's illegal. You can't punch in the back of the head. Get the fuck out of here. Oh, it's Dylan Dana. Of course he's gonna fight. It's Dylan Dana. What the fuck is that shoe?
I didn't do anything. I got arrested? I say you want to get arrested? I didn't do anything.
UFC 322, held this past Saturday, November 15, 2025, will be remembered not just for Islam Makhachev's incredible achievement of becoming a two-division champion, but for an explosive brawl between Dylan Danis and Makhachev's team that has now resulted in one of the most severe punishments in UFC history. UFC CEO Dana White has issued a lifetime ban to controversial fighter Dylan Danis following a violent brawl at UFC 322. Dana White's message is clear. You will never see Dylan Danis at a UFC fight ever again.
Told me right before I walked out for the main card that Dylan Danis was here and he was moving around, sitting in fighter seats and not sitting in his own seat that he had. He had a ticket. And they said, do you want us to throw him out of here? And I said, he has a ticket? And I said, yeah. And, you know, they told me, they said, Masvidal said he's going to fuck him up on sight. And I said, well, where's Masvidal sitting? He said, well, he's 6 or 7 rows away from Masvidal. I said, well, if the guy has a ticket, let him sit in his seat and let him do what he's doing and keep an eye on him. And as soon as it broke out, I was over on the other side and I go, I know exactly what that is. I knew it. And, yeah, you will never see Dylan Danis at a UFC fight ever again.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Let's start with what happened inside the octagon. In the main event of UFC 322, Islam Makhachev faced off against former welterweight title holder Jack Della Maddalena in what was supposed to be the story of the night, and what a performance it was. Makhachev dominated across 5 rounds, showcasing superior grappling and striking control. The Russian fighter secured takedowns at will, neutralized Della Maddalena's power shots, and earned a clear unanimous decision victory.
Go welterweight championship.
One of the things, right? Islam.
Not at all. You can only take so much.
Bit more pause ever since.
Oh, that one hurt him.
Oh. When he successfully defended his lightweight belt. Fight IQ at an all-time.
Right leg is so beat up that even when they're standing, he's not able to attack as much as he may want to.
I don't think he can move it correctly. That's why he's throwing a lot of kicks with it, because I don't think he can stand on it right.
He's like grimacing.
Yes. Challenges now
yes.
At 170, and he has a chance now to create a completely new legacy.
Yeah.
On top of what he's already done, becoming the greatest lightweight of all time.
With this win, Islam Makhachev achieved something only a handful of fighters in UFC history have accomplished. He became a two-division champion. This places him in an elite category alongside legends like Daniel Cormier, Amanda Nunes, and his mentor's rival, Conor McGregor. But as we'll see, Makhachev's historic achievement would soon be overshadowed by chaos in the crowd.
Guys, Bob Milstein, 22 winning streak, Jack 18 winning streak, Charles Oliveira 11 winning streak. Coach. 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 Let's go. Let's go with your chicken. That's #1 easy weight, lightweight division. Ironman. Coach.
Now here's where things went completely off the rails. Just moments before the main card was set to begin, a violent altercation broke out at Madison Square Garden, and at the center of it, former Bellator fighter and social media personality Dylan Danis. For those unfamiliar, Dylan Danis is a 32-year-old MMA fighter and Brazilian jiu-jitsu practitioner who rose to prominence as Conor McGregor's training partner. He's become better known in recent years for his controversial behavior on social media than for his fighting career.
training partner for his next fight to make history and win 2 belts. So I'm here helping Honor and training, you know, just I'm here for him, you know, like I have his back, as I said, and he has my back. So whenever he needs me, I'm there, and if I need him, he's there for me. So
223, but he's a big boy. The boy is an animal. When the boy switches it on, he switches it on. So,
according to multiple reports and viral footage, Danis was spotted moving around the arena,